Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the hidden features inside of Ableton's stock compressors, as well as how I sidechain my bass to my kick. Let's get into it. So first let's go ahead and take a look at my 808 group here. There's nothing on that channel strip now. But let's go ahead and slap a stock compressor on there. So if we click this little arrow right here, we'll get access to the sidechain as well as the EQ for the sidechain. Let's go ahead and route that to get audio from track 1 kick. Now right beneath that, you'll see it says post effects. So Ableton actually has two different kinds of pre-fader metering. There's pre-effects, which is your audio on the timeline before it hits any of your plugins or EQs or effects, anything like that. There's post effects, which is the audio after it's been processed by your plugins, but before it hits your volume fader. And post mixer, which is after processing and after the volume fader, right? So we don't really want to use post mixer because I want to be able to have control over my levels after I do this sidechaining trick. So let's say I want to lower the kick and the hook or yada, yada, yada. I don't want the level of gain reduction for my bass to actually be adjusted by my volume fader. So let's go ahead and set that to post effects. And let's just check that routing. So we can see that the kick is actually triggering the sidechain at this point, but because I clipped most of my kicks in Ableton, the threshold's way too high. And I want to avoid any of that low-end buildup. This is a synthesized kick drum, so it starts at a fundamental, and then it sweeps on down through the subfrequencies, which means that there are at least two different opportunities for my compressor to actually be triggered. What I want to do is avoid that and just use the high-end energy to trigger the compressor. This way, I'm avoiding that double trigger moment and only using a very short and crisp attack to trigger the actual compression. I'm not really looking for that EDM pumping sidechain effect. What I really want is just to clear a little bit of room in the low end for the punch of the kick to come through. So let's go ahead and enable the EQ. And if we hit this little button here between the sidechain and the EQ enable, the one that looks like headphones, we can actually audition what will be triggering our sidechain. So the EQ already comes defaulted to the high pass setting, which sometimes works, but in this case, there's a little flutter, like a vinyl flutter in this kick that I actually like, but unfortunately it's causing some more double triggering. So to avoid that, I'm going to go and use the bandpass filter. So it sounds like we're making progress. Let's go ahead and A/B this. So it's sounding better, but I know that there's some more hidden features I can use to actually get a little bit more accuracy out of this sidechaining effect. So if we click this little button down here that looks like a little L, we can see the transfer curve view of the compressor. This will give us access to both the knee settings of this compressor and the look ahead setting on the compressor. So if I take the knee and drag it all the way to the top setting, you'll see I got a very smooth curve. What that's doing is actually allowing more room above the threshold and less gain reduction. What I want to do is knock that knee down to absolute 0, almost like I'm creating a limiter with this plugin. This way, I can get the most amount of gain reduction in the shortest amount of time for my compressor. So let's go ahead and adjust the look ahead. So the look ahead is actually going to set the sidechain to be 10 milliseconds or 1 milliseconds ahead of the actual audio input. So it's actually going to be triggering 10 milliseconds earlier, allowing my bass to get that much more out of the way. So let's go ahead and A/B this in the mix. Sounds great. Again, I'm not really going for that EDM, four to the floor pumping sidechain effect. What I really want to do is just clear a little bit of room in the low end for my bass to get out of the way and for the punch of my kick to really kick through. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more tutorials.